What a joy to be integral part of this brilliant combination of speakers, experts in their own respects. We have Oracle, we have MasterCard, IBM, and again, Google. You can't have better assembly than this. Our audience is always special, and they have shown their response, committed response. Nearing 300 people are directly registering, and I know the numbers will cross 4 digits on the Facebook. And it's an extraordinary set of challenges and changes we are facing at the defining moment in the world. The transformation is real. Pre-COVID also, it was coming up. COVID has accelerated the whole space. In terms of economics and the overall governance, we are still coming to terms. Both the monetary policy and fiscal policy across the globe have been redefined. The global growth, as good as this month when the International Monetary Fund has spelled out, is going to be in the range of 5.9%. Advanced economists should be reporting around 5.2% in aggregate terms. They've accelerated the vaccine administration. When it comes to emerging market or developing economies, they should be doing around 6.4%. In fact, they have recasted, downward simply because the vaccine administration is rather slow. That's the overall picture in terms of economics. Economics now is converging with economics. We are seeing everywhere the overall changing dynamics for a green mission. United Nations spellbound sustainable development goals has been the new world order. This crisis has taught us enormous amount of lessons. Of course, we had human tragedy. We lost nearly 4.91 million people in global terms. In fact, we had over 241 million people was impacted. Qatar lost around 608 people, and we had an impact of 238,000. When it comes to vaccine administration, in global terms, now we have seen the semblance of acceleration. Now, as it stands now, 37% is the global administration. When it comes to Qatar, eligible population is over 85%. When it comes to total population, nearing 78%. So every country has taken, measured and managed the social risk, and they put in framework for governance, economic risk, and allied business continuity, as I said, monetary policy or fiscal policy. When it comes to the environmental risk, which is a major concern for the world, yesterday there were reorganizations in Qatar for the ministerial berth. In terms of climate change, there is a new minister appointed. That shows the importance of the protection of the planet is paramount for the global prosperity for the future generation. We recognize we need to look at objectively and convert the negatives into positives. The pandemic, of course, has taught us a few lessons. Elimination of extreme poverty or gender equality or healthcare, universal healthcare or universal education, rise in sea level, increasing temperature, animal extinction, global warming and climate change. This is a major, major challenge to the world. So we need to come together, create a new world, new discipline, and digital is a solution. And that's convergence in your business model. As an institutions, we set in our own well-founded principles of 5R. Number one, restructuring of the debts. Number two, remedial management. Number three is to recognize we have remodeling of the complete business, wholesale or retail, treasury or investments or international banking. It's going through a set of changes. The tools are available today. We are going to have beautiful world. We're going to have a betterment of the humanity in the coming days, provided we come to terms. We all recognize this opportunity and redefine global prosperity, create a better world for our children and grandchildren. That's the purpose. Without much ado, let me run through the presentation. I thought it's appropriate to set the tone for the wonderful speakers combination here. Now, as a chief executive of an institution which has got global footprints in nearly 18 countries, we want to recognize these changes are real, the challenges are real. And the future technologies and digital innovations is here to stay. And they're going to make extraordinary set of transformation to the betterment of the world. As I outlined, this is a number which IMF indicated. Now, tools are very many. Let me run through some of the very interesting clips I've seen of late. I thought if I show a few of the clips in the next 10 minutes, audience will get into the rhythm and then experts will take over from their functional discipline. Now, watch this. That's what it is. 3D printing impacting the healthcare organization. Dynamics are changing in terms of healthcare. Now, transplant is a new story. Medical applications becomes more driven by these values. Internet will become a basic right. And that's the message we are getting. Increasing usage of mobility, smartphones. Now, when it comes to robotics are the best partners for human being. Robotics are also evolving. So robotic process automation in various segments of the financial institutions. Now, as institutions, we are also looking at putting the robotics process automation wherever it is feasible. We are working on the process reorganizations and support of the mechanics. So essentially, robotics is going to play a big role. That's not alone. If you look at artificial intelligence, IBM has got a good presentation, you will hear it. Now, if you look at cars to start with, it's mind-boggling. Watch this clip. So you will have driverless car. That's going to be real. So cars leveraging on renewable energy, that's also real. And artificial intelligence will have wide-ranging applications in various industries, including financial services. That's the message we're getting. What about Internet of Things? You have over 50 billion gadgets today. It's all going to get interconnected in total terms. And recognizing the fact, it provides extraordinary opportunities. If you have connected world, connected mobility, and you are interconnected and you shrink the world, and we live in a global village, and knowledge transcends in total terms. What cannot be achieved for human prosperity? That's why I said it's a beautiful world. The future is going to be better than the present. Our purpose of existence is to add value to the future generations, I suppose. Watch this clip.
When everything becomes linked with everything else, matter becomes mind, and the possibilities become endless. Imagine 50 billion IoT connected devices by 2020. Imagine the economic impact of these connected machines. $4 to $11 trillion per year by 2025. Wearable devices, environmental sensors, agricultural machinery, components in a vehicle, or devices in homes can all be connected to deliver insights and drive transformation. So imagine if you had smart devices in your home, your car, your workplace, or even on yourself. The world becomes alive. That's Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is making everyday objects into data factories. When Internet of Things, along with big data, meets artificial intelligence, this interface will become enlivened with intelligence, and a new world will take birth, which will increasingly talk back to us.
Interesting, isn't it? It's all happening. Voice technology. Look at major tech players, what they have done into this segment. Take a listen.
In 2007, Steve Jobs disrupted personal computing when he introduced a mobile touchscreen computer that fit in your pocket. Now, we are entering a new era where we are bypassing screens. This is the era of voice, and the fight is on to own this new operating system and app ecosystem that comes with it. Currently, 35% of US households own at least one smart speaker, and that number is set to reach 75% by 2025. This is fueling voice-enabled commerce, which is expected to be worth more than $80 billion per year by 2023. So it's no surprise that the 6 largest companies in the world, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, and Alibaba, are all investing billions in improving their voice-enabled AI assistants. What's really interesting about voice is that the user experience is much more streamlined than other platforms. And this makes it incredibly powerful, but also susceptible to manipulation. A smart voice assistant will answer your questions directly and accurately, without listing off a laundry list of answers.
Who says the world has not changed? It's changing for good. Let's move on to the next segment, that is digital innovation impact. Whatever happened, my colleague has just mentioned, industrial revolution. The fourth industrial revolution is far excelling the previous one. The opportunity to improve the human welfare is the purpose. Back to the last decade, one aspect, the future looks, for me, exciting stuff. And watch this clip.
As banks begin to get more personal, so will the ways we pay. In the future, cash is no longer king. Instead, paying with your phone or wearable will be the status quo, rendering physical cards unnecessary. 60% of financial organizations are expected to make wearables a common payment method. Physical shops will still exist, but the way you pay will change, with money changing hands virtually, in real time. Cryptocurrencies may rival cash, with an estimated 200 million blockchain wallet users by the end of this decade. And many currencies could digitize and even decentralize, simplifying travel and trade.
That's not alone. We have to see a cashless society. Sweden is already stepping in. By 2023, you'll have a cashless society. Parallel money should be rooted out. You need trust and transparency in financial service. And the rest of the world has to drive towards truth. Nothing but truth. Money laundering, financing terrorism, all should be wiped out. Here is an opportunity. Technology is an opportunity to interconnect and destroy all the evil deeds. And that's the purpose of our existence, isn't it? What about mobile wallet? Take a look.
Mobile wallets have become a major buzzword and are a growing factor in payments. So what are they, and how can you start benefiting from them in your e-commerce business? A mobile wallet is software that stores a shopper's payment details, like credit cards or bank account information, and allows the shopper to use that information to easily make a payment or purchase. Some examples include Apple Pay, Android Pay, MasterPass, and Visa Checkout. The main benefit of a mobile wallet is to make checkout quicker and easier across devices and more secure. because the shopper doesn't have to re-enter their card and billing details every time they make a purchase. How do you benefit from this as a merchant? Well, since checkout is easier for the shopper with a mobile wallet, then you can increase your conversion rates by just allowing your shoppers to pay using a wallet. Removing an obstacle to checkout means that fewer shoppers will abandon the shopping cart and more will finish the checkout process. So how do you enable shoppers to pay using a mobile wallet? If you're using BlueSnap's Buy Now Host to Checkout pages, these payment options are built in. Simply enable them in your account settings and they'll appear on your checkout pages. If you're using BlueSnap's Payment API, you can offer these mobile wallets by adding the relevant wallet button to your checkout page, and then using the wallet info to process the transaction through the API as usual.
So, most important thing is to recognize opportunities are endless. We have open banking, application programming interface. Watch this. It is extraordinary.
Over the last decade, large and successful digital players in various industries have used open application programming interfaces, or APIs, to connect their services with apps and websites of third parties. Today, open API technologies have evolved to an extent that allows them to be applied by the financial services industry, where security is key. This opens up new opportunities for banks and other financial services providers to offer innovative digital services themselves. The emerging business model, open banking, empowers end customers to control and share their personal account data with third parties of their choice through offering a new range of products. As a result, financial services become more relevant in the digital space for end customers, and compliance with new regulation is made easier.
So when it comes to artificial intelligence and payments, again, huge opportunity.
Did you know? Every time you use your card, Visa's AI is learning. Every purchase you make helps Visa get even better at protecting your next transaction. Visa's AI doesn't know your name or exactly what you bought. It sees activities and patterns to learn what your typical purchase behavior looks like, so that even before you make your first purchase, we can spot suspicious activity. For every attempted purchase, Visa's AI assesses fraud risk so that the bank that issued your card can approve or deny the transaction, or send a text asking you to confirm an unusual payment. Let's take a closer look at how it works. Every Visa account has a profile of previous transaction data. Each time you buy something, the account profile is updated and compared to the spending behavior of more than 3 billion other accounts.
So it's all getting tracked. So essentially, it's going to be a fire as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. IBM have got a good presentation, so you will enjoy it as well. Now, building a digital ecosystem is ultimate. Interconnecting all this, making sure we make the most out of it, whichever be the business industry you belong to, a business you run, and optimize and make it sure truly global in terms of reflection. And that's what it is. Nothing is local now. Everything is global. And we live in an interconnected, interdependent world. Finally, building a digital ecosystem will make or break your value stream. Have a look.
The goal in the transition from cash to digital payments is building a strong digital payments ecosystem. That means putting in place the technology, the partnerships, and the rules needed for digital payments to operate effectively. When the system works, more people will use it. When enough people use it, a tipping point is reached where it becomes harder to stay outside the digital payments system. Let's look at who plays a part. Governments set digital payments regulations and enforce them. They can also lead by example by making and receiving payments like salaries, pensions, and taxes electronically. Financial institutions issue accounts that enable electronic transfers. Payment companies authorize and settle transactions between payers and payees. Telecommunication companies transmit transactions between devices. They provide electronic channels to access financial services, and businesses and individuals make and accept electronic payments for the things they buy and sell. Building a strong digital payments ecosystem means linking these people and organizations in a way that shares the benefits of digital payments efficiently.
That's the purpose. That's my presentation, gentlemen and the ladies.